Alright, so we're going to work on the programming for a Hunter ICC controller. They're basically similar programming on all the Hunter controllers. This one has multiple programming as far as A, B, C, and D. Go to the current time and date, scroll right and left to set the date and time, up and down to change the values. T24 p.m. Hold on, I'm gonna go back to that. Can't see with glasses in the rain. There we go. 2:25 p.m. Program start times. So the program set up on these Hunter controllers, you've got the program button here. So we've got A, B, C, and D. Now, not only do we have A, B, C, and D, we have multiple start times right here. So the start time is the entire cycle, every zone running in correlation one after the other. So this one gives us the ability to have 8 start times per program. And that, like I said, is the start time for the whole cycle. If you program start time 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, it is going to run 5 times for that scheduled day. And the reason that is set up like that is so if you were to resod the backyard, you could water the backyard more often than the rest of the system. So the start time should only have one start time if you want it to run one time. It is not the zone run times. That's where a lot of people get confused, and they'll program a zone run time. They think it's a zone run time, and they'll program all 8 start times, which in essence makes the controller run 8 times. And then the A, B, C, and D will run simultaneously. So if you only want the controller to run one time on its scheduled watering day, then you should only have a start time 1 programmed for program A. B, C, and D should all be zeroed out. So we've got 0, off, 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 off. Program C, off, 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 off. So we're just going to run through all the start times on all the programs and make sure that there's only one start time for program A only. Now to change the start time, while you're sitting on the field while it's flashing, you're going to use the plus and the minus. And to get rid of the start time altogether, you would go down to basically midnight, go down one more on the minus button, and that'll put you to off completely. So to have a start time set up for program A, we've got it set for 1 a.m. The run times are going to control each individual zone, each valve. So we're going to scroll through here and see what we've got set up on these. There's 21 zones on this system. Number 7's got to be the MP nozzles. So all of these station run times are going to run consecutively after. It'll start at 1 a.m. on the watering day and run the course of the whole system. So that's our 21 zones. It's an ICC, so the module goes up to 24 on this, but there's only 21 wired in. So 22, 23, and 24 are all zeroed out. They're nothing. So then we're going to go to days to water. So we've got it set to water on Sunday and Wednesday. And to change that is the same thing, plus and minus buttons. We're going to go look at program B. There's nothing for B. C has stuff scheduled for it, so we're going to kick C out. And D has nothing. So we're basically, in essence, clearing the whole program on purpose. Pump operation. Let's check this one more time here. It looks like we have a master valve wired in, the PMV right there. Obviously don't touch the terminals while the controller's on, but where it says P/MV, that's the pump or master valve. So all of these should always stay on the pump operation. It's not technically a pump on this system, it's a master valve that opens electronically when the controller is trying to run the system. If any of these are turned off, it won't run those zones. The master valve will not open, will not allow water to flow through the main line of the system. Alright, over here we've got our seasonal adjustment. So go back to run. So right now it's mid-September. Well, when October rolls around, we can change the seasonal adjustment up and down. And it's going to show right there. And in doing that, right here as we go up and down on the seasonal adjustment, it's going to automatically change our run times. So our station run times are going to be dropped by the percentage on the seasonal adjustment. So as we change the seasonal adjustment back up and down, it changes the runtime for every zone across the controller, not just one zone at a time. Which is nice if you have 21 zones, you don't have to go to the run times and change all of the zones to turn the controller up and down. The manual single station, manual all stations, it's kind of an odd thing, but some people will actually ask this question, what's the difference? Well, manual single station is if I want to test one zone or just run solely one zone. So in this instance, the drip tube for the outside parkway area was disabled. So I could go ahead and go to manual single station, pick the drip zone, which was zone 20, turn the dial to run, and it'll run zone 20 for 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, it will kick zone 20 off and go back to the regular program. The only difference between that and manual all stations is if I want to run the whole cycle manually. So for instance, we got a little bit of rain and the rain sensor tripped, but it wasn't enough for it to be beneficial because it was 120 degrees right afterwards. You could come out here to the controller, go to manual all stations, turn it to run, and it'll run all 21 zones, and then go back to the regular program. Anytime you turn it off, you have to let it sit and flash for a few seconds, and then back to run. So the controller should always be in the run position in order for it to operate correctly. It's been raining while we've been out here, so we got to turn the rain sensor back to active. So that's going to trip the controller to turn it off because the sensor's flooded at the moment. But that's the basic setup on these Hunter Pro Cs, ICC, I-Core, X-Core, basically all the same as far as how to program the start times, the run times, and day of the week. Just remember to always check and make sure that program A, B, C, and D only have one start time associated to them.